Hey, good morning. Chuck here at Apple Drains. Today we are here in Melbourne, Florida, Melbourne Beach, and we are working for the DOS. This is the Department of the State. I guess it's probably part of NASA actually, or Patrick Air Force Base, called Miramar, and very secure area. You can see the gates here, and we also have to have, everybody has to have a badge to walk around here. But what we're doing is we're going to be waterproofing the side of the building, just like any other building that we do, only this one's a little larger. A good project for the do-it-yourselfer. Everything that we do here would apply to what you would do at your own home. So I hope you enjoy that and maybe learn a couple more new things. Let's take a look. So along this side of the building, you can see they have a graveled area here, a lot of gravel. But these three windows from the stone facade there to the entrance, as it runs back, this is the break room. And water is coming up and into the floor. And they've replaced that floor 3 times so far. And no one's been able to figure out what their problem is. They've had all kinds of engineers. You can imagine government, they do all kinds of things, right? So, came out here a few weeks ago and made the estimate, and of course they went ahead and signed that up right away. So what we're going to do is we're going to waterproof the foundation of this building, just like we always do. We're going to have to pull this gravel back well out of the way because we don't want to mix it. We're going to trench and excavate from there by Brandon at that facade all the way down the wall until we get to the fence. At that point, we're going to turn and go underneath the sidewalk, and then it'll be solid pipe as it discharges out and over to that little retention pond down there. So, real straightforward stuff, but let's go ahead and get started. So, just like any other excavation, utilities are marked, but they don't mark water lines. These are private lines. You can see this configuration here. We've got a line going out. Got a copper line that's going down. It must be the feed, and of course there's this major tree root growing all around it and going back under the foundation. So I have to cut that out. Be very careful around this area. This line I think is irrigation, but I'm not sure. Comes out, it turns and goes on out to wherever. But we're getting the gravel back so that we can excavate. Really shouldn't take that long once we get things uncovered. So just kind of want to show you what we find. Let's keep digging. So of course we found some more unexpected obstacles. But see the size of the root that was growing underneath of here? That's not the exact problem, but part of it. And the chances digging, we're actually going around what probably was a footer for one of these facades, but I'm not sure. It's about 6 feet wide. Might have been a pier, overpour, changed their plans, but there's another one down here. So we're gonna have to just go around those sections. That's all there's to do. They're about 12, 15 inches thick, and just go around them, be good. Then we'll move the rest of this. We're moving right along. So here's where we are so far. You can kind of see we've excavated all the way down. Let me step down here. All the way down to the footer. And you can see this is at the bottom of the footer. Our pipe will sit actually alongside of the footer. It's not under the footer, it's just right beside it. And we're going to start by hosing it off. Then we hit it with the pressure washer and we scrape off anything else that's left. And you can see that water just pouring down through here. However, that doesn't really mean anything. The footer runs level, and our footer pipe actually runs level. We don't try to give it any fall. There just happens to be fall where you see this water coming through. So, trench comes around this pier right here. We weren't able to, we have to go around it. Won't make a big difference. All the way down, you see these giant downspouts because of the way they got their roof. Looks like we've got a water line that they exposed that it came through here as well. And down there where Brandon's at, we're just finishing the last little bit of the trench. So once the water's collected, we're going to turn it right here, and there'll be a T right there at the wall. Then we'll have to cut this walk. We might be able to tunnel it. We'll see when we get to that point, but the plan is to cut it, and then it comes out and it goes right down through over to that little retention pond. So this out here is really straightforward. A lot of utilities, gas, things like that, but they've got that located. Again, remember, this is Miramar. This is a very, very secure location. Although it doesn't look like it, there are video cameras all over, guards walking around, dogs, you know, the whole thing. But anyways, we got our badges, we're all good. Let's keep working. So down here you can see Chance's putting the clean gravel over top of the system as well. We've got that, again, we're going to bring that all the way to grade. You can see we've got our footer pipe. It's already got gravel encased inside the fabric, but we're still going to put gravel back to grade all the way down through the system. And again, a great project for the do-it-yourselfer. This is a commercial building, but everything still applies to the same principle. So we're moving right along, and we'll have this cleaned up here in about an hour. So a slow process of getting all that gravel back. Remember, we moved it out of the way to begin with, and these guys are doing a really good job. And you can see that sun line, you know, the shadow line, we're losing that sun, and it's going to get really humid, but should be able to get it backfilled today and cleaned up, and then tomorrow we'll go ahead and finish. We need to cut this sidewalk. Come over here where I've already cautioned it off, and we're exploring over here because there's so much irrigation. We found some unmarked things over here as well. It's all good. This will discharge, you know, out and over to that storm area over there. So you can see where we're at. We just have a couple more piles of the dirt to remove. Remember that when you dig and you're putting in gravel, perforated pipe, or the easy flow, the styro rock, you're displacing soil. You can't put that soil back. So you see we've got a pile right there that's on those, we don't even know what those were. They're footings for something that they must have changed, but pile there and a little bit left over there. You can see we've got it all back. And we'll probably put a top coat of gravel across all of this, and it's ready to go. The line you see coming out right here, that little pipe, that's the AC condensation. And holy cow, a building this size, or several of them, they have many units that cool off a building this size, but that pumps constantly, 24/7. Remember, this is a government installation, and it's pretty high tech. In other words, they do a lot of things here that control things at Patrick Air Force Base and NASA and things like that. So high-tech place, and they have to keep it nice and cool. They have shifts 24/7, 3 shifts that come in here and work. But it's looking real good, looking real good. So we're pretty much finished here for the day. All the guys, the entire crew and myself, you know, this is a secure building, and so we have to get these badges. You can see this is the air wing, and like I said, it's very secure. So we're going to turn those in. We're going to call it a day. We'll be back tomorrow. Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. So we are here back again at Miramar, which is the DOS here in Melbourne, Florida, and we're going to finish this job up. Let me show you where we got to yesterday. I apologize. I thought I had some video of cutting the concrete, but you've seen me do that many times. So anyways, the secret is to cut all the way through, and once you do that, if your blade goes all the way through, you will be able to do this in your next step. If you cut all the way through, you can see just a couple of hits with the pry bar and that concrete cracks, and you can easily pop that right out of there. There is no need for a jackhammer. The secret is that you've got to cut all the way through the concrete with your blade. If you don't, you'll have to go get a jackhammer. And this is so easy. I've showed it so many times. Just hit it till it cracks, and that's it. You can see we got it ready to go. Now we're ready to excavate down through here, and we'll be able to go ahead and hook up our discharge and finish this out. Okay, so that just about does it. We're just rinsing the area off. Gravel coming out great. Remember, there's a little bit of dirt mixed in, but the water just washes it right down through. Got all that. We're getting ready to final clean the sidewalk. Brandon's giving it a final rake up here on top of this mound. We're just going to let that settle. They weren't worried about sod. There is no sod. Mix up our concrete, clean this area off, and we are done. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. So we had some comments that people like to know exactly where we are. That Miramar, Patrick Air Force Base, whatever that is, where we just were, we're right here at the ocean. And right behind me, behind that next building, is the beginning of Patrick Air Force Base into NASA. So I just thought I'd put the follow-up to help you see where we are. And it's really a neat place. And if you've never been to Florida, maybe you live, up in Seattle, I don't know. Or maybe you live in Singapore, wherever you live. This is the Atlantic Ocean. And hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.